As promised, I'm going to announce the winner of the GTX 1070 giveaway right now. That winner is Dominic Jaworski. It looks like you're an American, Dominic. You're the first American to win a giveaway here in Salazar Studio. So congratulations, and don't worry if you live anywhere else, even if you still live in the US, there's still one more chance to win a graphics card before Christmas, and that's thanks to Candid. A GTX 1080 will be given away in that giveaway, and it ends, I think, December 18th. See this video right here if you haven't already. It's not too late to join, sign up for that one. It's not very difficult to sign up either. Did you hear that? That was my shoulder. And now for the meat of this video, I'll be introducing you to a very awesome case in a vlog style format. You've probably seen the case before, but maybe not like this, so I do hope you enjoy. Well, this is my room, or what used to be my room, hence the very cheesy wallpaper. If you've been around for a while, you know this is where I used to film all my videos. But if you're new to the channel, yep, I have the cheesy wallpaper just kind of all over the place. You can see that's my storage facility over there. All the boxes, the studio lights, my bed, which is not made, JJ doing his thing. And yeah, just kind of making do with the space I have. I have a very unorthodox computer desk. It's actually a dresser that I turned into a makeshift computer desk of sorts. I think I did a clever little thing here with the keyboard kind of inlaid in one of the drawers. The mouse kind of sucks where it is. It's not ideal, but it's all the space I have. It's decent. I can get by with it for about a month. Don't worry, we'll be back in the old studio well, around January 9th or so. So the video is going to be about the Be Quiet Dark Base Pro 900. This is a very large case. I wanted to show you what it looked like, well, what the box looked like, just because this is very large. You can put it next to something like a Genome. That's actually a large case on its own. It's still nothing compared to the Dark Base Pro 900, and the S340 Elite just looks so small in comparison. That's the one I'm sporting right now for Heisenberg. We're going to take all of that inside there and throw it into there. So time lapse, here we go. Okay, right off the bat, I just want to give you my first impressions of this case, just how beautiful it is. It's a very large case. You have plenty of room in here. Like I said, I wouldn't expect anything other than ATX, full-size ATX, or even extended ATX in a case like this. It's all supported. I didn't know that this was a tempered glass panel, but it is, and it looks like, let's see here. Oh, these are on there. These are thumb screws, although these are fairly tight. I can't use my thumbs to remove them. We got a Qi charger up top. Feels like brushed aluminum. It doesn't feel cheap at all. Lots of air vents all over the place. Check this out. This cool door here just clicks right open, and you're greeted with, looks like Silent Wings 3. I wouldn't be surprised. It looks like Silent Wings 3 fans here. These look like 140s, and it looks like we get a third one in the back, and the door itself is of course soundproofed. This is coming from a company called Be Quiet, so I honestly expect nothing less. Something else I want to point out, the screws are already embedded in the case. That's a great thing. That's just like the S340 Elite. I love it when tempered glass panels are affixed that way on a case and not the other way around, where you have to insert the screw after you try to align as best you can the tempered glass to the holes in the case. So another good thought on their part. And let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and remove this, and we'll get an idea of just how much real estate we have on the inside here. Well, if you were worried about how many hard drives you were going to fit in your case, check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 native, just like the, it reminds me of the NZXT H440. So plenty of storage expandability in there, and all of this is removable. So this is a very modular case, as you'll see here shortly. We're going to take a lot of this out just for that bare bones look for Heisenberg. Oh, check this out. You get LED strips in the case. I had no idea that it came with some, so that's actually kind of cool. I get to save the ones I already had planned for this one and just use these instead. Oh yeah, now that is what I'm talking about. Check that out, rigid RGB strips. That is pretty dope. Hey, there's the little man. And my baby princess. Misty, you wanna come up here? Come on. Come on, Misty. Come on. I promised some pom-pom footage, so I'm trying my best here, but they're not willing contestants. Okay, so here is the build. I should probably zoom out just a little bit. This is the Dark Base Pro 900, obviously, and you can see that there's way more space than I typically need. I only have one hard drive in here, and the solid state drive is behind the motherboard. There. What are you doing? Hey, get that out of your mouth. That's my microphone, which I probably should be using right now. I'm just gonna use the camera's microphone for now. What are you doing? Anyway, I thought it was really cool that they included just some other things that aren't necessary, but that make the case look even better than it already does. So the LED strip up top, I installed the Hue Plus, so we have, the 3 AER fans. One thing I do want to mention, I do have 2 Silent Wing 3s up top above the radiator. It's a weird config, only because I wanted to have the LED showing. Whew. Excuse me. So I had to arrange these to where they were exhausting out the front as well as the back, and then I oriented the fans on top, which are 2 Silent Wing 3s from Be Quiet, coming in, basically pulling in air from the top. So it's a really weird design. I don't recommend it, honestly. It's probably not going to stay this way for long, but just for aesthetic purposes, I think it looks the best as it is. The cool thing about the LED strip that they included up top, if you open this panel here, which is just a simple little click. I didn't install the little drive covers here, but I'll do that shortly. There's a little button. I know you can't see it because it's really dark. There's a button here you can push, and it changes the tone of the LED that's connected to the fan hub at the back of the case. The fan hub is also integrated, comes with the case, and you can wire your LED strip directly into that fan hub for basically full control via the case itself. You can also control fan speed with this little dial here, so I'll let you hear the fans ramp up. So that right there is full speed, and then you can turn them back down, and it's just a little dial here, so all you gotta do is just push it back this way, and they settle back down again. I haven't tested sound yet, how loud everything is while in the case, although I expect it should pass with flying colors. These AER fans are noticeably louder than the Silent Wings 3. I have 3 of these in here, whereas with my S340 Elite, which I tested a bit earlier, I didn't have any of these in there. I only had 1 stock fan and then 3 Silent Wing 3s. So these fans are louder. The case is already at a disadvantage, but I expect that this case is just going to do a heck of a job at suppressing that noise. So here we go. Now, a few things that I want to be picky about that I experienced when building in this case. You'd think that there would be tons of room for cable management and the like, but there really wasn't. I actually found that there was more cable management headway in the S340, believe it or not. I know that sounds hard to believe, but I think that a big reason for why that's the case is because all of these hard drive trays that were pre-installed they don't come with covers. So once you remove the bay, you don't have anything blocking this. So it would look really just terrible to have cables kind of just weaving in and out of here. And that is where a good amount of my cables typically end up, kind of running along the side here. And you can see it's pushed in a little bit. This is recessed here, so there's not a lot of space between the back panel and the motherboard tray, and that caused problems when it came to, you can see down there at the bottom, just a lot of the cables got bunched up. It was very difficult putting the back panel on. That's a good sign of poor cable management. I think another reason why it was rather difficult to cable manage in this case is because the case itself doesn't include a basement. They do that on purpose because they want to make space, obviously, for all these hard drive trays, and if you want to throw a custom loop in here, you will have plenty of space to do that. You could probably fit 2 reservoirs comfortably and just a full-on loop through everything. But I don't have that yet, and most of my stuff, fits perfectly into a mid-size tower. So this is super overkill for what I have. This just goes to show you how much space you do have at your disposal, but do keep in mind it will be difficult to cable manage, and you don't have a basement to cover any of that ugly management up. So it's all going to be pretty much showing. You can see I have a mess back there. That's just what you get when you opt for a case that doesn't have a basement. And these are custom sleeve cables too, so these aren't extensions. These are almost measured out perfectly. There's a few different strands of SATA cables back there that are kind of bunched up, but everything else, including the 24 pin and even the CPU 8 pin up there, are all measured out pretty close to the length of this case. So there's not much slack there. If I was using extensions, I imagine this would have been even more difficult to build in. You can see there are just some weird designs. I mean, I don't know what the purpose of this is right here, to recess the power supply from the back of the case. You're looking right now at what I was having to do to secure this to the little bracket sticking out here. I had to undo these screws and pull off these panels in order to screw the motherboard into the bracket from the back. That's the only way to do it, is coming in from the rear. So it's just a weird design. I don't know why they recessed it. I have no idea what the intention was, what the purpose was behind that. But it's like that. You still have plenty of space for, very extended power supplies. If there was a basement here, you could just bunch up all your cables here. But just some weird things. I don't know what that's for. Maybe somebody does in the comments. I'm sure there's a reason. I am not seeing it right now. In terms of mounting capabilities, we have a 280mm radiator up here. This is a Kraken X62. See, it comes to about here, so we could probably go, I think a full 420 would fit in this case. You'd be cutting it very close. I might not opt for a 420. I think a 360 would be the furthest I would go. But you have that option there. And in the front, you have another, it looks like, I want to say 280mm mount, because these are two 140 fans. So You have a little bit more space up top, but I'd say a 280 is about as far as you want to go there. And then you also have a 140 millimeter mount in the back, so that's just testament to how wide the case is. Most cases only have a 120 here. And as I said earlier, you do have two 5¼ inch drive bays, so if you're a fan of CD drives, you have an option for 2 of those up top. Maybe something else like a fan controller, you know, plenty of room up there. Like, pretty much anything that you would want to throw in a computer, this case supports. The case is also raised by about an inch off of the desk thanks to its integrated feet. These are very sturdy and they're pretty much mounted to the bottom of the case itself. And then you do have about an inch worth of breathing room if you want to put fans on the bottom or something else along those lines. You can actually squeeze a fan underneath this tray and then maybe put something like a radiator on top, and you do have plenty of space for that air to flow out of the case through the sides here on the bottom. And then same goes for the top. I have 2 Silent Wing 3 140 millimeter fans pulling in air from the top, and then the radiator mounted underneath that. So you can definitely fit fans in this space here. There's about an 1.5 inches worth of space up top, as well as in the bottom. Not as much space it looks like in the bottom, but most people don't put stuff down there anyway. But you do have that access up top to pretty much run it all the way across, except for when you get to the Qi charger. If your phone supports wireless charging, you can use the built-in charger. It's all wired directly into the fan hub. The fan hub pretty much controls everything in the back of the case, everything up front. Speaking of which, I/O ports, you have 2 USB 3.0 ports, microphone jack, headphone jack, power button, very large, very sturdy, I like that. A reset switch, hard drive notification, LED, and then 2 USB 2.0 ports. There's just a lot of space in here, folks. There's so much that you can do with this case. It honestly, it looks bare bones right now because I don't have a lot of stuff to fill it up with. I don't have 7 hard drives or a custom water loop, but pretty much anything that you want to do with this case you can do, and I can't reiterate that enough. That's what full-size towers are for. It's why I don't personally use them, but this just goes to show you, you know, you have plenty of space to work with. So those are my raw impressions of the Dark Base Pro 900. Not honestly a case that I would personally go after. It's not my style. I'm more of an NZXT S340 kind of guy. Also P400 from Fantex, Corsair 400C. Those kinds of cases are more my alley. I'm willing to compromise on available space for the sake of just having a more compact look. But if you're the kind of guy or gal who likes the hard drive space or needs space for a custom water loop or likes adding all the extra fans, radiator support, the extra space between the graphics card and the front panel, all of that is available in the Dark Base Pro 900. I have links to the case in this video's description. Check those out down below. Leave a comment, suggestion, or question in the comment section if you have one of those. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you thought it was cool. Give it a dislike if you feel the complete opposite or if you hate everything about life. Click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and stay tuned for Battle of the Beasts. I finally have something to pit against the CryoRig R1, and that's this megalith from Be Quiet. This is a 250 watt, whoops, I clicked something, a 250 watt TDP cooler. For reference, an air cooler capable of 250 watts of thermal dissipation. That is insane. And we're going to pit both of these also against the Captain 240EX, which is a 240 millimeter all-in-one radiator combo in the rig behind me. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be an awesome video. I can't wait to get started. This is Salazar Studio. Thanks for learning with us.